You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Most writers and radio show hosts know that to connect with your fans, you need to do more than just write books or record the latest podcasts. There are many different elements that go into forming an online platform, but there are also many hidden traps. To make matters worse, solid advice on how to survive the muddy waters is scarce. In the book Hidden Traps, I talk about some of the important issues of working with an online platform, highlighting traps that could put your physical or internet security at risk or be harmful to your reputation. Are your social media posts just links with a few disjointed words, making you look like someone who can't complete a sentence? Did your new website cost you more than you anticipated? Are you leaking your personal contact details across the web without even knowing it? Then you need Hidden Traps. Although Hidden Traps is not officially released until August 1st, you can pre-order your paperback or ebook copy now from a variety of retailers, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. Visit blackwolfpublications.com for more details.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Oh, yeah, the topic wheel is running a tad heavy today in Wynn's World at Radio Griff.
Oh, man, it's great to be back in Wynn's World once again this week. And you're right, heavy, because there's a lot of heavy topics. There's so much going on right now.
You know, most weeks it's usually better to be in Wynn's World than the real world, would you say?
It is. It's always better. But the worlds, I feel like, are colliding. What's going on?
It's unbelievable.
The real world's colliding into Wynn's World. The political world is colliding into the sports world. I just want to watch sports, man, and have fun in Wynn's World.
I'm with you, man, 100%. The topic wheel abides. Now it's up to 40 pounds with all these extra topics. So you want to give her a rip?
Let's do it.
All right. Taylor Swift, STD. That's hearsay. I don't know 100% on that. North Korea. Oh! Jim Harbaugh. What's going on with your coach of honor?
The great Jim Harbaugh. I'm a big Harbaugh guy. He's a good football guy. I'm a football guy. I like Jim Harbaugh. He was the former coach of the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
They ran him out of town. Biggest mistake they ever made.
Indeed.
They got rid of Jim Harbaugh and hired Jim Tomsula. I mean, one of the the Niners should have been kicked out of the league for that in the first place. That's just still blows my mind. Jim Harbaugh, arguably, I mean, he is one of the top probably 5 football coaches, pro or college, in the world.
That's debatable, but okay.
Well, everywhere he goes, he wins. All he does is win. So they were playing Purdue last week at Purdue. Michigan won again. And Harbaugh was complaining about the locker room conditions at Purdue, right? Saying they're unsanitary, no AC, basically saying this is unacceptable. They had like 2 urinals for the whole football team, which college teams carry a lot of guys, players and coaches. So, yeah, he's not happy with the conditions in the locker room at Purdue.
Apparently, it was about 100 degrees on the field game time.
Yeah, over 100 degrees. Yeah.
2 urinals, no AC. What did he expect? He's in the house of the Boilermakers.
Oh.
I mean, if it was the Purdue freezes,
we should end this topic right there.
I mean,
we're not
What do you
going to top
expect?
that. We're not going to top that right there.
You know, it's not an igloo in Alaska.
I love that he calls it unsportsmanlike. Harbaugh's such like a by the book, like that's not how you treat people.
Well, his khakis are pleated.
That's true. And he said at Michigan, they're going to set the standard now for how other opposing teams are treated. They're going to go above and beyond to make sure the other team is taken care of.
Manis, petties.
Everything, man. Harbaugh.
Facials.
Yeah, man. He's all about it, man. So.
Well, here's the thing. Honestly, these college athletes get so screwed. Their likenesses are used. Their jerseys are sold. I mean, and they get very little kickback, with the exception of sometimes you get a Hummer or a nice watch or a necklace, and mama gets a new house. But let's just be honest. They should be treated with somewhat respect since they're not getting technically paid by the NCAA. The NCAA is, for the lack of a better term, a pimp.
Corrupt, yeah, just a little bit. And I totally agree with you. I mean, you're not paying the guys and whatnot. I mean, you are giving them a free education, I guess. Are they actually getting educated? I don't know.
No, they skip classes and they end up with CTE. So really,
but, I mean, at least give the guys some AC and a toilet to poop and pee in. I mean,
right.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, this is unacceptable. I'm with Harbaugh. I'm always with Harbaugh. I hashtag I'm with Jim. Stand with Jim.
No, Jim Tomsula or Jim Harbaugh?
Harbaugh. I'm happy for hashtag. I don't know. I need to get a catchy, pithy hashtag for this.
Have we come up with a hashtag from last week? Because we did tease it for Mitch Trubisky for the Bears.
We never did we?
No, we didn't.
We still need to think of that during a break here at some point.
It's important.
I mean, he might not be the quarterback. I don't know what's going on there.
Oh, and we'll get to that as we discuss Week 4 matchups coming up. A big win for the Bears.
The Bears, they're back.
Top Bears by a baker's dozen easily. All right, so here we go with the topic wheel. I'm going to give this a rip. I don't know. I think I pulled my biceps. I'm going to use my left arm. Here we go.
Okay.
Woo! 40 pounds. Never felt so heavy. Kim Jong-un. Oceanography. Oh, I didn't want to talk about this, but the wheel abides.
Yes.
I can't argue with the wheel.
Yeah.
Apparently, the NFL is full of division nowadays.
No.
I don't know much about it. Griff, can you fill me in on what's going on in the NFL right now?
Dude, does anyone need any filling in on this? I mean, Donald Trump. I mean, he was riffing. If you watch the video, these weren't planned remarks. And I really don't think he meant for this to blow up, but he just speaks his mind. He was at this campaign rally last week and, called football players, called them a name for kneeling.
Sons of B words.
During the national anthem.
Right.
Basically saying they should be fired for doing that. He said he would like to see an owner fire a player for doing that, for not respecting the flag, for not respecting the country. So, of course, as we all saw last week, the players, different teams doing different things. Some teams stayed in the locker room during the national anthem.
Yeah, 3 teams.
Right. Other teams kneeled. Some teams locked arms, then kneeled, then stood. The Cowboys, before the anthem, they came out with locked arms, kneeled, stood up for the anthem. So like to show
what
all this
message
unity
are you
stuff.
sending there?
And these creepy owners too. The guy in Jacksonville,
What
their
is up?
owner,
He looks like Captain Hook from the Disney movies with
he
that
does,
stash
doesn't
he's
he?
got
It's
going on.
an impressive stash.
It is.
I'll give him that. The weasel Daniel Snyder in D.C. out there like being all proud like he's someone special because he's locking arms with his players. But the players, the majority of the time they've hated that guy. That no one likes playing or working for him.
Yeah, his field is garbage.
Right,
People get injured.
Right. Yeah. And then Jerry Jones doing the whole thing with his guys. The takes on this are wild.
Yes.
And we were talking about this before the show, and I'm almost kind of apathetic to it all, man. I understand you have the right to do that. I have the right, or some other people have the right to not like you doing that. All right, cool. I'm not principled enough because there's people boycotting too. There's these fans saying, because a player on my favorite team kneeled, so I'm done with football. I'm out of here. I'm canceling Sunday ticket. I'm burning all my jerseys. I'm not principled enough as a human being. I like football too much. I like turning on Red Zone, sitting there all Sunday afternoon. I mean, did you see how great those games were last week, especially the 1 p.m. games? We had the 3 p.m. Eastern hour was insane. There's multiple games coming down to the last 2 minutes. I just don't care enough to boycott or anything like that. And I also wonder what do they want? They're kneeling. What will get them to stand up again? What will get them to just be normal and stand there with their hand over their heart again? Like, what do they want?
Yeah, I feel like we're in a hostage negotiation.
It
right
feels
now.
that way, yeah.
So if we're outside with our megaphone, what do you want? What are your demands? I don't think there's a clear-cut message, because at what point are they going to stop doing what they're doing? When police brutality ends, when Trump is no longer the president? And there's also a conflict because both sides are calling for a boycott.
Yes.
So I feel like I'm boycotting the boycott of the boycotters by watching the games. And I won't stop
watching the game is the right thing to do.
I feel like at this point, it's the only thing to do.
Right.
To say shove it to both sides.
Just enjoy the games, man. Just enjoy the great football these guys put on. It's awesome.
Again, last week we talked about us being told what to do by any side.
Right.
You should do this. If Trump says you should do this, you should stop watching these. The Kaepernick side says you should stop watching the games until Kaepernick gets signed. Well, how about I'm going to make my own choice? And as you said, I'm not principled enough to not watch what I love. My passion for the NFL and the Philadelphia Eagles runs deeper than anything else that I've seen, argument-wise, for either side of this debate.
Right. And I agree with you. Like, I believe Trump was wrong in saying these players should be fired for doing that.
I think he was wrong for calling them sons of B words.
Right. I mean, the owners, I think, legally, I read some stuff this week. I guess, obviously, they do have the right if they wanted to, but they're not going to do that. Can you imagine the firestorm that would cause?
Right.
If they fired a player for kneeling during the national anthem? That would just...
And then you got people like Jerry Jones, as you mentioned, that goon, talking out of both sides of his mouth. My players are going to stand. But then you join them to kneel.
But it was before the anthem.
Yeah, but what message are you sending out? You know what I mean?
This whole we're united. What are you united
They're against?
Against. It's not no long. It started with Kaepernick against police brutality,
right?
And I've kind of defended him to some degree on here. The kneeling thing just isn't my move. Whatever. I'm not for that necessarily. But as we've said here before, he was committed to it. He stuck to it. He lost a job because of it, pretty much. He can't get hired right now. And then he donated literally $1 million of his own dollars to the causes he personally believes in, which as an American, he has every right to that. But now it's turned into, we were talking about this before the show, it's not against police brutality anymore, I don't think. At least, maybe I'm a white guy. Maybe I'm missing something here. To me, it seems like they're united against Donald Trump. So because you're united against Donald Trump, you're kneeling or doing whatever. If you're LaShawn McCoy, you continue stretching during the national anthem.
Not a bad idea.
Right?
He's had some problems in the past, though.
Probably a smart move on his part. But so you're equating Trump to the flag.
Right. Well, it makes sense for just the simplest of connections, right? He's the leader of the free world. He's our commander-in-chief. I mean, Hail to the Chief comes on when he enters the room.
Right. But it's a very simple connection.
Right.
That I guess maybe guys with CTE would come to, right?
Hey,
is that a hot take?
That's a super hot take. Yeah, I want to give credit where credit's due, because my wife made a brilliant point the other night. She said, this whole kneeling thing is the Ice Bucket Challenge 2.0. And I said, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
And she said, because everybody's jumping on the bandwagon, but very few people are actually donating to the cause. And I said, that is freaking brilliant. You have won the internet without posting about this. Because she's not very social media-esque.
Right.
But it is. It's so cheap. People are just doing it. And I honestly don't think it's people even know what they're protesting anymore. Because as you mentioned, that's a perfect question to pose. What are your demands? What demands need to be met fully until you guys get up and respect the flag? And I'm divided. I see both sides.
I do too. And I think lots of people see it our way. There's the extreme people are out there who are like, I'm done with football. Don't kneel. Don't disrespect our flag ever. I'm with you. I see it both ways. And yeah, I don't know, man.
I think the bottom line here is America is still the best place to live and to raise a family. And I'm not, whether you agree with things that are going on or whatever, and it's your right to disagree, thank God. And people fought and died for that right. At the same time, I think we all need to be honest and ask ourselves, is it that bad, even with Trump in office, that we feel like we need to get out of this country? And if the answer is yes, then that's, if you can get out.
Do they want to get out, though? I think they want him out.
Yeah, but people voted him in.
They basically,
right?
Not according to some.
Well, the Electoral College voted him in.
Right. I mean,
and that's the way it is.
They literally want him to resign. I think that's the demand.
It's just not going to happen, though. It's like people are pouting when they don't get their way. A bunch of pouters.
You're right.
Like a bunch of crying children.
That's what America is now.
Oh, it's awful. It's terrible. I don't know what to do about it. I feel conflicted. I'm just going to keep watching football. I am boycotting the boycotters boycotting the NFL.
I'm with you.
There's like 4 double negatives there.
Hashtag I'm with you. I'm with him.
I'm with him. Got to be careful, though, how that's posted. All right. You want to take one more gander on the topic wheel, or do you want to head to our pick'em segments?
Oh, let's get to the picks, man.
All right, let's do it. I'm hot. This vein on my forehead's popping right now. And let it be known, you got to stick with us, guys. We have so much more. We were wrong a lot last week.
Well, because a lot of not so good teams won. So we picked teams that should have won and they didn't win. So that's why we were wrong in our picks last week.
Griff, you went 8-8. I'm very happy for you.
Did I? What'd you go?
Yes. Oh, I'll talk about it when we get back.
Okay.
Oh. Stick with us, guys.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1246. 800-826-1246. That's 800-826-1246. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
Hey, KLRN radio family, this is Jenny Earhart. Check out the Southern Sisters radio show every Sunday at 2 p.m. right here on KLRN. Connect with me on Facebook at Southern Sisters Home with Jenny Earhart. You can also catch our Facebook Live videos, unedited and uncensored. Connect with me personally. Email me at radio@southernsistershome.com.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? Playoffs?
And we're back. NFL Pick'em Week 4. Week 3, Griffin, saw a ton of upsets. The wrong team won a majority of the games.
Yeah, it was wild. First off, that London game, which half of my friends were like texting me, "Oh, is this game not on TV?" It's like, no, guys, get with it.
Yeah, it's on Yahoo.
It's on Yahoo. they're like, is it not on national TV? No, it's globally on Yahoo.
It's streaming.
Right. But the Jags, 44-7. Or the Ravens didn't even show up.
No, they didn't.
Like that was embarrassing. And I think we picked the Ravens in that game. You had teams, the Bills beating the Broncos, an upset last week.
Mm-hmm. Saints winning on the road.
Saints beating the Panthers. I'm worried about them. The Bears beating the Steelers.
I have a hot take on that game.
Okay.
When we get there.
Okay. Yeah, and then the Lions getting totally screwed by the refs in that game. The Lions deserve to win that game, in my opinion.
Oh, I agree.
But I'm also an anti-Falcons guy.
At least you're honest about it.
Right. Yeah, the Titans, nice upset over the Seahawks. And the Texans taking the Patriots down to the wire, man. Deshaun Watson, impressive on the road in New England last week. That's pretty cool to see. So, yeah, I mean, you have teams like the Bears and the Ravens not even showing up. The Bears winning, the Bills beating the Broncos. And then the Jets beating the Dolphins. That's one of the biggest upsets. Lots of teams didn't even think the Jets would win a game.
Oh.
And here they go, blowing out Jay Cutler and the Dolphins. Insane, man. Crazy week 3. But I'm looking forward to week 4. I think we have some I was looking through the matchups. I think we have some pretty good games this week.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
and last week, you right down the middle, man, 8-8.
Well, I mean, my 1-year-old son could do that probably, right? I mean, that's 500. That's not too impressive.
Well, I don't know, man. I mean, I think a lot of the NFL so-called experts probably did worse than we did. I went 7-9. I'm not happy about it. The one difference being, look, the Bengals put up a hell of a fight against the Packers. They lost in overtime, so I was right almost.
Almost right, yeah. Overtime. As that stat, that was Aaron Rodgers' first win ever in overtime. He was 0-7 until that game.
Wow.
Isn't that insane?
And he threw his first pick 6 since, I think, 2009 in that game.
Wow, facts right here in Wins World.
Right, that's the only one I got the whole day, so I hope you enjoyed it, folks. All right, so let's get to it. Our Thursday night game, Bears, who got that big win against the Steelers, taking on the Packers. And after your prediction here, I got a hot take on what happened with the Bears and Steelers.
I like the Packers in this game. The Bears, I think they're going to be kind of still hungover from that win, like still riding that high. And I don't see the quick turnaround. I don't see the Bears going to Lambeau and beating the Packers. Aaron Rodgers is just so good. I mean, he's incredible. Some of those passes he was making last week to win the game, he's unreal. I like the Packers in this game over the Bears.
Folks,
hot takes.
Upset special time, baby.
An early upset special.
Woo! It's going to be a Thursday upset as the Bears march into Lambeau.
Wow.
And knock the cheese off the heads.
Advantage Griffin.
This could turn the season around for the Bears.
This could. It's time for Mitch. Hashtag.
Well, if they keep winning, they're going to keep Glendon in there.
Well, he'll get hurt. He'll get hurt. I have a feeling that Mitch is bringing good luck. By the way, I chalk up the Steelers' loss to the fact that 52 players plus the coaching staff stayed in the locker room with the exception of Villanueva, the guy who served 3 tours.
I saw that, who then this past week apologized kind of for unintentionally disrespecting, throwing his team under the bus because he came out by himself. And all.
And apparently there was an article that he was embarrassed by the fact he was the only one standing out there.
Right.
So there's conflicting reports
a lot of stuff
here.
Going on.
Lots of fake news out there, folks. You got to weed through it, but you get truth light here in Wins World. So stick with us.
I like that truth light.
So you got the Packers, I got the Bears. That's my upset special.
Wow.
Another London game.
Another one?
As the Aints
already
take it across the pond, and the Dolphins swim over to London. Saints and Dolphins. He got 9:30 in the morning.
Ooh, buddy. I think the Dolphins are going to bounce back after that embarrassing performance against the Jets last week. I think they were looking forward to getting to London already. I think Jay Cutler had his sights set on Big Ben.
Fish and chips.
Guinness. Over there, I feel like smoking's a little more acceptable maybe there. Jay Cutler seems like he's a smoker. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I think the Dolphins are going to take care of the Saints this week. I've said it here, and I'll stick to it. I think the Dolphins are one of the most underrated teams in the league.
I agree.
And I think they just had a bad week last week. They've had a lot of the hurricane stuff through their schedule. Like they had to go out and practice in California for a couple of weeks because of Irma and all that. I think they're going to get to London. They're going to take care of the Saints. They're the better football team, and I think in this game they'll win.
I skipped my pick. I agree. Dolphins win. They're just a really good team, and they just had a slip up. They had an early bye week. They're already tired, but they'll recover. They'll get back.
Both are wrong.
wrong.
Titans at Texans. Texans almost stole one.
Almost, man. Deshaun Watson.
TB12.
The Texans finally have a quarterback there. Incredible. And this is a great matchup. I mean, two up-and-coming young teams.
I agree.
An important game in the AFC South. Titans looked pretty good last week.
Huge win at home.
Right, taking care of the Seahawks.
Yep.
Ooh, buddy, I like it.
They're flopping.
Seahawks, man. That division. I think the Rams are going to win that division. That's my NFC West prediction now.
Nice.
If the Niners don't.
Well, they're definitely not. So
What?
Rams it is.
Hey. I like the Texans in this game. I think Deshaun Watson's going to keep that momentum going from last week. I mean, he's got to feel pretty good. He went into Foxborough and almost took down the champs. He almost did it.
Almost.
And if it wasn't maybe for I feel like the coaching staff made a few errors there in terms of when they called timeouts and didn't call timeouts and stuff like that. And the defense, if they would have helped them out just a little bit. I like the Texans over the Titans. The Titans are a good football team, but I think the Texans have that Foxborough mojo going their way. I like them to win.
I'm going to call the Titans on the road here.
Oh,
I think they're going to continue. They had a huge win at home last week, as you mentioned, against the Hawks. And despite the Texans being super mad, hashtags for Houston, I think they lose and go to 1-3. That's my hot take because everybody's picking the Texans in this game.
Are they really?
Oh,
well,
yeah.
This could be a 2-game swing too. If the Titans win this game, they go to 3-1.
3-1.
Texans would fall to 1-3. So I mean that's a 2-game. This is a big game for the Texans if they want to stay in the hunt in the AFC South, because most likely I think they're going to have to win this division, because you have teams like in the AFC West, the Chiefs, Broncos, Raiders, who are all going to be in the mix for a wild card spot.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I think this is a must win. Can you say that in week 4? A must-win game for the Texans.
Every week's a must-week. We only play 16 games,
right.
Man, You got to do what you got to do.
Advantage Griffin.
Speaking of the AFC South, Jacksonville taking it on the road. They're at the top with the Titans at 2-1, taking on the Jets 1-2. Huge win last week at home against the Dolphins, 20-6. That's not just a win. That is a win.
It was a big one. And they just had an offense that was just good enough, along with a pretty solid defense, and that's how the Jets won last week. I like the Jags in this game, though. I think they're going to keep the momentum from London going, and I think they're going to. I mean, they're the better football team than the Jets. The Jags, man, they could be 3-1 here after week 4.
That's awesome.
Tom Coughlin's running things at the top down there. Doug Marrone, I believe, is the head coach
Correct.
now. Blake Bortles played a game of his life last week. And they just really need him to be kind of a game. They need him to basically be Alex Smith.
Right, the manager.
The game manager. If he can do that with Fournette back in the backfield, that's how they're going to win games. They're going to run the ball, game manage with Bortles, solid defense. And with that division, they can make a run. They can make the playoffs. The Jacksonville Jaguars. So I like them in this game over the Jets. Jets aren't winning 2 in a row.
No,
let's not get crazy.
No. The world didn't end last weekend, so the world isn't that crazy yet. Man, I'm excited to see how that division pans out with Tennessee and Jacksonville.
Lots of young, fun teams.
Oh, yeah.
I'm into it.
I'm keeping an eye on that.
And watch out. Andrew Luck might be coming back soon with the Colts.
Yeah.
They might make a run at it. You never know, man.
You never know. It's early, but all these games are very important. I will also take the Jags on the road to beat the Jets.
Both are wrong.
Panthers... taking on the Patriots.
What's going on with the Panthers? What's going on with Cam Newton?
He's regressed. Ever since 2015, he had that huge season. I think that Super Bowl messed him up. I think the fact that he didn't dive on the ball, and everybody called him out for being soft, and he got hurt last year. And this year, the mojo isn't there. It's like they're missing something.
Something's off. And, he hasn't been right since that Super Bowl game. Christian McCaffrey, they're really not incorporating him, or he's not doing well.
Olsen's out now.
Right.
Broken foot.
Yeah, so I'm worried about, I really don't care. But, in terms of the Panthers, I thought they would be better than this. The Panthers, aren't going to beat the Patriots.
No, they lost by 21 to the Saints at home.
Right. So they're not going to Foxborough and beating Tom Brady. Not going to happen. I like the Pats.
I agree, man. The Patriots will continue to roll no matter what. They could win 6 games. They're still going to win the Super Bowl.
Right.
That's the way the Patriots are, man. That's the Patriot way. God, I hate them. I love to hate them, but I still respect the hell out of that team.
Both are wrong.
Lions taking on the Vikings. The Lions who got screwed at Ford Field, by the way.
Yeah, I feel that way too. I was watching that game. That was weird.
We'll never know what would have happened.
We'll never know.
Give them one chance to get it in the end zone. They had it on the 1 foot line?
Basically, yeah. So, the Falcons could easily be that week 1 Bears game.
1-2.
They could be 1-2 very easily. But instead, they're one of the 2 3-0 teams in the league, along with the Chiefs. So that's insane to me.
Good insight.
And this is a good game here, actually. Lions-Vikings, two teams basically contending maybe with the Falcons in the NFC. I think, along with the Falcons, Falcons, Lions, Vikings, Packers, as far as I can tell, those are probably the 4 of the best teams in the NFC. So this is a pretty big matchup between the Lions and Vikings. I think the Lions are going to go on the road and take care of the Vikings. I think the Vikings are a good football team, but how many games can Case Keenum keep winning? I mean, because I think Sam Bradford's still going to be out. That's my
creepy eyes.
Right. And even if it is Sam Bradford, how many games can they keep winning with Sam Bradford and Case Keenum? I think Lions with Matthew Stafford, they're firing on all cylinders. They look pretty solid against the defending NFC champions, the Falcons, last week. I like the Lions to take care of business on the road against the Vikings.
I agree, and I think they have an axe to grind, and it's a division game. I know it's on the road, but it's not that far away. I'm going to take the Lions also.
I like it.
I'm not a believer in Keenum yet.
Both are correct.
Bills at Birds, taking on the Falcons.
I think the Bills...
Interesting matchup.
It is, but it's in Atlanta. Falcons look so good. I mean, because they're still, even though they've had some close calls with the Bears and the Lions, they're still scoring points, man. They're still a good football team. And I like the Falcons to win this game. I think the Bears had a big win. I mean, the Bills had a big win last week against the Broncos at home.
Oh, yeah.
And teams like that, as we talked about earlier with the Jets, can they win 2 in a row? Can they keep that momentum going? I don't know. I think they get so high on that one win, especially when you're not a very good football team, you're kind of mediocre. I don't see them coming to Atlanta and beating the Falcons. I mean, I love them to. I just don't see it happening. I like the Falcons.
I disagree.
Oh,
I'm taking my second upset pick of the week. I'm taking the Bills on the road to come into Atlanta. Look, they're 3-0. This is a trap game for the Falcons. This is one of those, no matter what, we're going to score points. It doesn't matter. Look what we did last week. We went up to Ford Field, took care of Detroit. We're going to come back home, eat a little heavy of a breakfast on Sunday, come into Mercedes-Benz, top down, system up. I don't think they have what it takes to go 4-0. I do not.
Wow.
I'm calling it. Bills on the road.
Tyrod Taylor and the Bills coming to Atlanta.
Shady's going to go off on that Falcons defense. Watch that.
Boy.
No Vic Beasley, man. Where's your pass rush?
That's true. That's true. Oh,
I'm feeling it.
Hashtag facts.
Hashtag facts light here in Winthrop. Let's not over promise and under deliver.
Advantage the wins.
Steelers at Ravens. 2-2-1 teams. Very important AFC matchup.
I like the Steelers in this game, man. The Ravens just, man, I don't know what's going on there. And they got killed in London last week against the Jags. And I know the London games can kind of be outliers, but the Steelers just have so many weapons, and I don't see them losing to the Ravens. I like the Steelers in this game.
This division is weird because you have 2-2-1 teams in AFC North, and you have 2 0-3 teams. So essentially, this matchup right here is the first of 2 battles for this division.
Right, yeah, it's a huge game.
I will take the Ravens at home.
Oh.
I'm feeling like they're going to have to bounce back after last week.
Is Joe Flacco any good anymore?
I don't know, man. He's one of those, I'm not sure about him.
He got
anymore.
that big contract, and he just kind of disappeared. He's not good.
Not good.
He's not going to beat the Steelers. You're wrong.
Hashtag not good. And I might be wrong there.
Advantage Griffin.
The aforementioned 0-3 Bengals going to the 0-3 Browns. Ooh, I for sure will be watching this game attentively.
Yes, sir. Man, the Bengals, they had a pretty good game against the Packers last week, getting Joe Mixon involved a little bit more.
They should have him involved every snap. What is this? What are they doing?
For the sake of my fantasy team, they should.
And not only for the sake of fantasy, but for the sake of reality. He's the best back on that team.
Right. Yeah, he's got the freshest legs.
Yes.
Get him out. I mean, how long have they had that two-headed monster of Jeremy Hill and Bernard? I feel like they've been there
at least 3 or 4 seasons.
It seems like since the 90s. Right. Like it's like them there.
The Icky Shuffle. That's when it started.
Jonathan Stewart in Carolina. These guys who are just like these perennial running backs who never go away. I like the Browns, though, at home in this game. I think they've been on the cusp a few times. I like what Deshaun Kaiser. Rough game last week, but I like the Browns at home. Someone's got to win, right?
Yeah, well, not necessarily.
What if they tie? That would be something, wouldn't it? Oh, my goodness. Who do you like in this game?
Oh man, it's who I dislike less. I think this is one of those situations. I'm gonna go with the Bengals, man. I feel like Marvin Lewis is if it's possible for Marvin Lewis to ever be on the hot seat, that seat is warm at the very least right now.
Right.
They've already switched offensive coordinator. They put up points last week.
Players are calling for Colin Kaepernick. And if you start off 0-4,
oh yeah,
and your fourth loss is to the Browns,
problems
who
in
are
River
also
City.
winless. Yeah, might not be good for Marvin Lewis. So yeah, it's a must-win game. I feel like
must win, and they're gonna win it. They have to. So that's my take. Bengals on the road.
Advantage the wins.
The 2-1 Rams taking it to Big D, taking on them boys. Nice win Monday night, by the way.
Yeah, for the Cowboys.
Yep.
I like the Rams in this game, though. I don't know.
Wow.
I guess you call this an upset special, wouldn't you?
It would be close. I wonder what the line is. We don't pay attention to Vegas too much because the line fluctuates throughout the week.
Right.
Pending DUI arrests and domestic violence charges, so we don't.
I like what's going on in Los Angeles with the Rams. That offense is clicking. Jared Goff looks good. Sean McVay, man, quarterback whisperer. He knows what he's doing with that team.
Right.
They've got him running the offense. You got Wade Phillips, who's a Super Bowl defensive coach.
Yep.
Running the defense.
Yep. Coaching against his old team.
Yeah, I like the Rams in this game. I think they're going to steal the NFC West. And watch out for the Rams, man. This offense is good. Like they're a good football team,
and their defense is nothing to sneeze at either.
Right? They have, yeah. They've
only given up 75 points so far this year, which is not bad.
Hashtag facts, right there. So I like the Rams over the Cowboys in this game. Cowboys also looked a little. I mean, Dak. I don't know what's going on there. Zeke is kind of. He looked like a little bit of a bounce back this week.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I'm not trusting. I'm not trusting the Cowboys yet.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Rams.
I also like the Rams, Griff. I thought for sure you're going to go with Dallas on this one.
No.
I think they escaped Monday night. Look, the Cardinals had an early lead, and they kept it. And then the Cowboys just kind of went off the rails with it. Dak had that one play. It was so sick. It was a quarterback option. He dove into the end zone. That was
insane. He was
so
flying.
nasty. Yeah.
Flying quarterback.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll take the Rams on the road there.
Both are correct.
The Eagles at the Chargers, 2-1 versus 0-3. Oh, gosh, I don't know. You first on this. I'm very divided.
You're on this game?
Very divided.
Really?
Very.
I mean, first off, the Chargers have no fans. There's going to be no one at that game.
It's true.
Eagles are a good football team. They are the better football team than the Chargers. So I like
doesn't translate to a win always, though.
Not always, but come on. The Chargers are 0-3, right?
0-3.
Yeah, they're going to be 0-4 after this game. I don't think...
Baby's in a corner, though.
Yeah, I mean, and not Vance Joseph, Anthony Lynn.
Yes.
Shouldn't get them confused. I don't know. I've heard lots of people criticize him because people I trust who know football are saying this guy is a little bit in over his head, maybe, being the head coach of this team.
Too soon.
So I like the Eagles over the Chargers. Are you going to pick against your own team?
I'm very worried about this game. I'm not impressed with the Eagles' offense. Last week, they sputtered. They barely escaped the Giants at home. I mean, that 61-yard kick by Jake Elliott.
That was incredible.
He was carried off the field like Rudy.
It was awesome.
Insane. I loved it.
I saw a clip of his parents going nuts. They were like crying. It was awesome.
I was lifting my son in the air. We won! He's looking at me like, what are you yelling about? Oh, man. I feel like this is a trap game for the Eagles. I really do. I'm going to go with the Birds, only because I feel like bad juju or mojo and me predicting against is going to kill the energy on their flight out to the Golden State. Eagles on the road, but I don't think they're going to blow the Chargers out. I think Chargers are up against the wall. And also, I really like Hunter Henry, their tight end. He's a great tight end. He's not going to get much PT with Gates in there, too. So,
that's true.
Man, I don't know. I'm worried. I'm worried about this game. It's going to be very close, but I'm going to take the Eagles. I'm very worried.
Both are correct.
The aforementioned Giants taking on the Bucks, 2-1 versus 1-1. Who you got?
I like the Buccaneers in this game. It's in Tampa. I think their offense is good.
Wait a minute. What did I say? 2-1?
Yeah, I was
What am I
confused.
smoking?
I almost thought it was like, what? It's 0-3 Giants. Wait.
They're 2-1 on my Madden franchise. I'm sorry. I apologize. I get reality. I live in Wen's world. I'm very confused with how things actually work.
Right.
0-3. 0-3.
You gotta say it right. The Odell and 3.
Oh, by the way, I got a hot take after
3.
you. Oh, I got a hot take on Beckham.
Giants against the Bucks. I like the Bucks in this game. I think the Giants are going to go 0-4. I think McAdoo's fired this year. I think he's out of there.
After what week? The whole year?
Maybe he'll coach the season. I think he's out. I think he's lost the team. I don't think he's a good football. I don't think he's a head coach. I think he's a great coordinator. I think he's in over his head maybe. I don't think the players respect him. These are my totally made up what I observe, not based on any journalistic.
It's your gut. It's your feeling. Go with it.
Not based on any reporting or anything like that, or even reading Adam Schefter or anything. This is my own gut. Like
that's
you
your
said.
Yoda take. He would tell you to go with your instinct.
Right. McAdoo's out after this year. Maybe not make it through the season. I like the Bucs to take down the Odell in 4 Giants.
I got a serious hot take on the Giants and Odell Beckham, but we're out of time for this on-air version of When's World. But if you want to head to the SoundCloud version,
I like it.
It's going to be there in its entirety. So head there, up in the search bar, WENZ World. It's also a free app in your phone's app store. It's well worth your while there. Check it out, SoundCloud. Till next week.
Bye.
Break. All right. So here we are. I promised a hot take for the on-demand version. And now that it's on demand, I can speak my mind on Odell, Mr. Head and Shoulders Beckham.
So he scored a touchdown last week, right?
He scored 2 touchdowns.
And then acted like he was peeing like a dog.
Crawls around like a canine and then lifts his leg. Urinates.
Yeah.
Symbolically on the Philadelphia Eagle.
At least it wasn't on the flag.
It was not on the flag, as some people said he did, which is unfair because he didn't do that.
Right.
But come on, man. Have a little respect. And then he goes to the sideline and starts yelling at the crowd. I am so glad that the Giants lost. Because that is, if there is such a thing as karma, which I don't believe in, but if there is such a thing in karma, boom, instant karma. They lost. You suck, Odell Beckham. You're a great receiver, but you're a shitty guy. You're a shitty human being. I don't wish ill on you, but you are a shitty person. That's my hot take.
I think we've talked about this before in When's World. How these receivers, I feel like they all come in kind of humble, just normal dudes, and then they have some success in the NFL, and they turn into these divas. I've seen it happen time and time. Terrell Owens, Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco. Yeah. Now Odell, and that's just a few of them,
right?
But the one who hasn't done it was Calvin Johnson,
Larry Fitzgerald.
I mean, I don't think we realize how good Larry Fitzgerald is.
I
think part of it is he plays out in Arizona, and I think lots of the media, NFL, Twitter world is out here on the East Coast.
Sure, it's too hot out there,
right? So we don't really pay attention to what's going on in Arizona. But yeah, these receivers, man, it's wild how they get these big heads and. I don't know. It's insane.
He scores a touchdown, then he puts his hand up, kind of like for the, against it. I think he was mocking Malcolm Jenkins because that's something that Malcolm Jenkins, safety for the Eagles, has been doing since last year. He's one of the leaders of the
resistance,
the inactivity police, the social inactivists, one of the kneelers and hand raisers, and that's fine. Do your thing. He's a great player, and he got a nice clothesline on Odell Beckham after that.
Did he?
So,
I missed that. That's good.
It was great.
That's good.
He could have made a play on the ball, but he decided to go ahead and clothesline him, Kane style, WWE. It was great. That's my take on that. I will take the Bucs at home. I think they need a win because, look, this NFC South is nothing to sneeze at. The Falcons are going to lose against the Bills this week, so they'll be at 3-1.
Whoa.
Panthers will lose; they'll be at 2-2. But the Bucs are kind of always there, and they need to win. They need to win.
They should win games like this. They should beat the Giants if they're going to make a run in the NFC South, or maybe even compete for a wild card because they might be looking at a wild card. Because of the Falcons.
Absolutely,
you have to win games like this, especially at home against an 0-3 team. Bucs have to win.
I agree. I'm taking the Bucs at home. Also,
both are correct.
You're wine 'em, dine 'em, 49'em. 0-3 Niners.
Hey.
Taking. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
They kind of got screwed last week too. That Thursday night game last week against the Rams, they were making a run in the final minutes, and there was an offensive pass interference called, as the guys like to say, OPI, right? OPI called against the Niners. That would have been a first down. The drive would have kept going.
Was it not pass interference?
No.
Well, are you saying that as a fan?
No.
Or
everyone, even all the experts came out and said, I don't know what this ref was seeing. That's inexcusable what that call was. There was no extension of the arm. There was no push off. He broke away from the guy, and the ref just assumed he pushed off, and they called offensive pass interference, and the game was basically over. So I think the Niners really kind of got screwed last week and had a chance to beat the Rams, but they didn't. And I picked against the Niners last week. I picked the Rams to win, and I was right. But I picked them hoping it would be like a reverse jinx thing going on.
I think your negative energy is contagious. Nonstop discouragement for the Niners.
So I like the Niners in this game, though, against the Cardinals. I'm not a believer in Arizona. I don't think I thought they would be better. We talked about at the beginning of the season. This was kind of a make or break year for the Cardinals. They're an older team, and I'm just not seeing it from them. I think the Niners are going to go on the road and get their first big, obviously their first big victory because it's their first victory.
That's a big victory.
But it's a big division game for them. Kyle Shanahan will finally get his first win as Niners coach. I like the Niners in this game.
Unlike yourself, I do believe in Arizona because they do exist. I just don't have a lot of faith that they're a good team.
Oh, look at this guy getting all technical here.
Well, words matter.
Semantics.
Hashtag words matter in Wen's world.
All words matter.
Most do. Jeez, man. I think the Cardinals are reeling. I'm going to take the Niners.
Whoa!
I feel it.
Have you ever taken the Niners in Wen's world?
I don't think so, man, but I'm feeling it. I feel like they're due for a win. They're babies against them in the corner there.
And secondly, is anyone besides Niner fans and Cardinals fans going to be watching this game?
No.
It's just a game that I can hear it in your voice. You don't even care about this game. It's just I think to you, the Bengals-Browns might be more exciting.
I would rather watch that game.
I could tell.
Both are wrong.
Let's see. Another 4 o'clock. This one, 4-2-5. Raiders on the road against the Broncos, who were probably fuming after that loss last week.
Right. They lost to the Bills, right? That was the game that the Broncos lost last week. They're back home.
Good call.
I like the Broncos at home. Big AFC West matchup here. I like the Broncos to take care of the Raiders. And the Raiders, last week
got trounced by the Redskins.
Yeah, it was weird. They didn't even show up.
No, it was bad.
Some people think it's because the team was very concerned about all the protest stuff going on. They spent a lot of time, I guess, in the locker room talking about how they were going to stand or kneel. It literally is a distraction. They didn't play Lynch much last week. He only had a few snaps. So I guess they're trying to save him for the whole season. He's on a pitch count, I guess. But
like Joel Embiid of the...
Right. I like the Broncos in this game. I think they're going to bounce back and take care of the Raiders.
I totally agree, man. And I really wish the Raiders had beaten the Redskins than being an Eagle division rival, but it just didn't happen. Oh, well, as they say.
Both are wrong.
Colts taking on the Seahawks, 2 1-2 teams. Who you got?
Upset special. Will this be an upset special?
I don't think either of these teams are favored. This matchup.
I like the Colts in this game. I think they're going to keep the momentum going.
Is Andrew Luck playing? Is he playing?
I don't think he's going to play this week. That's my no sourcing or reporting on that. That's just my gut.
Okay.
And by the time this comes out, I could be wrong. I think the Colts are going to... The Seahawks are vulnerable. We saw it last week. They lost to the Titans in Nashville. They're also one of those teams that I think has been kind of distracted about everything going on.
Yep.
All the Trump stuff and the protesting, to kneel, to not to kneel, to stand, to lock arms. What do we do?
What do you do?
They're confused, and their offensive line doesn't exist. So I think the Colts, who just 2 weeks ago I was saying is not a very good football team, but I think Jacoby Brissett has turned the team around. He looks good, and the defense looks decent enough. Something's going on. It's weird. The Colts are in the mix again. The Colts are back. Sunday Night Football, the Colts are going to take care of the Seahawks.
Ooh, I love that insight,
because
Griff.
the 0-3 Niners almost beat the Seahawks at home 2 weeks ago. I think the Colts are, at least offensively, have more weapons and are a better team than the Niners. So I think, as I said, the Seahawks are vulnerable. They've already lost to the Titans last week. I think the Colts are going to beat the Seahawks.
I'm going to take the Hawks at home. I know it's a safe pick.
Week.
I don't even believe in what I'm saying right now, but I feel like it's the safer pick.
Oh, it is the safer pick.
I'm taking the Hawks at home. I have to recoup my loss from last week, that Bengals-Packers game. I think this is going to be the game where
Colts are going to be 2-2. Andrew Luck's going to be on his way back.
You're probably right. I feel like the Colts are going to win this game. I really do.
Advantage the wins.
Okay, in our Monday night game, Redskins, 2-1 Redskins.
Yeah.
Taking on the undefeated KC Chiefs.
Dude, Arrowhead is going to be rocking Monday night. One of the loudest places to play football in all the world. I like the Chiefs in this game. I think they're going to go 4-0. I like the Chiefs to take care of the Redskins. I think they're, again, sometimes it's just you pick the better football team. I think the Chiefs are that team. I think they'll take care of the Redskins.
I'm taking the Redskins on the road.
Oh, here he goes.
I'm taking I feel like that was a really nice win for them last week. I mean, they 27-10 against one of the Super Bowl picks of the AFC. And I know it was at home, but I feel like the Redskins defense is putting it together. And thank God we played them in week 1. I know we have to play them again soon. I think it's like in 2 or 3 weeks' time, but I don't want any part of the Redskins right now. I think they've figured something out. I don't know what it is, but I think the Chiefs are due for a loss. I think they're going to be asleep at the wheel at home, and I'm going to take the Skins on the road. So,
Advantage Griffin.
With that said, Radio Griff, I hope to be in the lead here in Wens World come this time next week.
I think we had a lot of differences this week, so
we sure did.
There should be some separation one way or the other after this week 4.
And let it be known, the stipulation that all ties go to the Wens.
All ties, dude?
All ties.
Okay.
So if a team ties.
Like if the Browns and the Bengals tie.
Oh, that's going to be the highest scoring game out of all of them. I don't think it's possible.
3-1. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to do this again next week for week 5. And, of course, we'll have @RadioGriff on Twitter. Find his personal account and troll him there. I'm not sure what it is.
Sure, why not?
Something like, what is it? You can just tell the people.
Did you hear that?
It's @Stand Neil Lock Arms, stay in the locker room. Or not, who cares? I'm boycotting the boycotts. Hashtag boycott the boycotts.
I like that's a good hashtag.
That's it.
We finally have a good hashtag.
Here, this surmises Mitch Trubisky, Donald Trump, boycott the boycott. Boom. In Wens World. Thanks for listening, y'all. Follow the Wens @Wens World Radio. And there it is. NFL Week 4 is come and gone. We enter Week 5. Lots of key matchups this weekend. But the tally from Week 4, Griff went 9-7. The Wens, yours truly here, went 8-8 overall. Griff is ahead of our season statistics, 36-28 to my 34-30. So we're gonna have to wait and see. But I'm 2 games behind. I got to play some catch up, folks. Thanks for listening. More to come. Stay tuned. Yes, my friends, we are one tank tripping back to the Booth Western Art Museum in the fine city of Cartersville. And with us in studio is Director of Marketing for Booth Museum, Tom Shinall. Tom, last time you were here, we were talking about the Ansel Adams exhibit. And this is a very special exhibit because there are over 30 photographs taken by Ansel Adams himself that were given to his granddaughter, right?
Yeah, so that's what's really cool about this exhibition is, so people think, okay, Ansel Adams, like iconic master photographer.
Right.
And of course, photography is a fine art form. And that's kind of the part of this exhibition that the booth is taking is we recognize that, we accept it, and so that's why we're showing photography as part of our exhibition schedule. And so what Ansel did is he hand-selected, hand-printed, and hand-signed these pieces, and these were part of a set that he created called the Museum Set. So out of the thousands upon thousands of photos that he ever took in his career, he basically said, these are the best of my best. I think these are good enough to hang in a museum someday.
Yeah.
And so he created what was called the Museum Set, and he gave that to family members and to some friends, some galleries, places like that. There weren't a lot of these complete sets ever made. And so in doing a past Ansel Adams exhibition, the booth became friends with Ansel's granddaughter, Virginia Adams Mayhew. And she was like, well, I have some of my grandfather's work. And we're like just a couple? Like, what do you mean?
Right.
She's like, no, I've got a museum set. I mean, they were still in like the original packaging, had the original slips stored in her basement kind of a thing. Like she had a couple of them hanging in her house, but I mean, there's a bunch of them. So what we did is she allowed us to have 30 of those on loan for this exhibition. So these are pieces that part of her personal family, his personal family collection that have never been on display.
Wow.
I mean, straight out of the box that he put them in, we matted them, we framed them, and they are hanging at the booth for the first time ever.
And they're in great condition. I can vouch for that. I saw all of them, and man, oh man, if you're a fan of photography, you got to check this out. And if you're a fan of photography, you already know who Ansel Adams is. So
Right.
Needless to say, this is a must-see for that. And it's available till November 5th.
And that's really exciting, too, because originally we were going to run it through late October.
Right.
So we've decided we're going to extend it a little bit. It gives people a couple more weeks to come see it. So it is through November the 5th. That's a Sunday is when it will end. So it gives you a little over a month now to come see it and experience that. But I'm telling you, it is an incredible exhibition. You've seen it for yourself.
Yeah, it's
People
awesome.
are asking me, well, if I'm out and about, what's going on? Why should I come see this Ansel Adams exhibit when I saw the one you did last time or the one before? And this one's different. I mean, these are the ones that he considered among his very, very best. And so it really does set that tone. When you walk in, it's just kind of makes you step back and be like, wow.
It definitely does not disappoint. And this next exhibit that we're about to talk about is one that I haven't seen yet, but I'm excited about seeing it. And it's the Western American art south of the Sweet T5. Fill me in on the deets here, Tom. What's going on with
this is a really cool exhibition. It's actually our signature exhibition. We created this exhibit right after the museum started, and we made it a triennial. So we do this exhibit every 3 years. And so this is our 5th installment.
Wow.
And what we do is we basically scour the Southeast. I mean, basically imagine that sweet tea line, and we scour the Southeast for artwork that we honestly think should be shown in a museum that are owned by people like me and you. I mean, collectors, everyday people that own artwork, that collect it because they're fans, they love it. What we do is we find some of the best artwork that's hanging in private homes across the Southeast, and we ask to borrow those, and we bring them together for one exhibition every 3 years. And so what you're seeing is basically like 150 years worth of Western art history in paintings and sculptures and photographs. And so it is displayed in a sense to where you're going to see some of the most well-known artists in Western art history into some of the hottest contemporary artists today.
Wow.
And so it brings them all together. You know, I consider it like a melting pot kind of an exhibition, but it really does focus on the whole reason the booth is in the South. I mean, there is a base for Western art enthusiasts. And before the booth was here, you know, all these folks that collected Western arts probably thought they were the only crazy person in the South collecting Western art.
Right.
And then you have this museum that comes about, and it's kind of become that building block, that foundation that a lot of them have connected over and met friends and folks like that, and have built that rapport. And now it turns into an opportunity for them to loan their artwork for an exhibition at a world-class museum. And it is an incredible exhibition. From you walk in, you look, and you're like, these pieces were hanging in someone's home.
Right.
It's artwork you would expect to see in our museum on any given day, but to know it came from somebody's personal collection and they've loaned it to us for it is just incredible to think about.
And all this stuff is available to see before you make the trip, a very short trip, mind you, on the weekend. It's a beautiful drive out to Cartersville. And, you know, a lot of people, when they think about Cartersville, they think, well, how big could this place possibly be? And I've said to you before, man, at first when we drove up, I thought it was a Scientology church. It's so huge, so well kept. The grounds are manicured just precisely, and the inside is just amazing.
It is. It exceeds expectations. It blows people away. They don't know what, I mean, you expect one thing, and I guarantee if you've never been, it's not what you expect.
Oh, yeah, it exceeds expectations.
Hands down, like you think one thing, you show up and be like, oh, well, I've heard about it. Well, once you see it, you get it. But even if you've heard about it, you'll have a perception, but you can't grasp that perception until you actually see it.
If you have questions, need direction, so on and so forth, boothmuseum.org is their website. Check it out. Lots of fantastic resources there to help you plan your trip out to Booth Museum. And you guys have group rates, etc., available for everybody, too.
Oh, yeah. We like to be accommodating.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Well, Tom, always great to have you here in Winsboro. Can't wait to have you back next time. In a couple weeks, we're going to be talking about the Cowboy Festival coming up in late October. And
on up.
It's going to be a lot of fun to talk about here.
Oh, it is. Can't wait.
Not Dallas Cowboys, though, right?
Oh, no.
Oh, thank
Not
God.
At all.
Great to have you, Tom. Thanks,
man.
Joey.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1246. 800-826-1246. That's 800-826-1246. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
Hey, KLRN radio family, this is Jenny Earhart. Check out the Southern Sisters radio show every Sunday at 2 p.m. right here on KLRN. Connect with me on Facebook at Southern Sisters Home with Jenny Earhart. You can also catch our Facebook Live videos, unedited and uncensored. Connect with me personally. Email me at radio@southernsistershome.com.